Welcome to Rally Retro Festival here in Melbourne. It is the premier historical rallying day of the year. We're absolutely blessed by some cracking weather today, but more than that, blessed by the turnout of cars. And this is for sure going to be one of the stars of the show. It's a special car, this one, isn't it? Tell me a little bit about it.
This will be one of the older stars. There's plenty of more current cars which are incredible as well. This is original English works car that ran in the 1973 East African Safari. Vic Preston Jr. drove it. It was one of 5 that year, and it was the only one that finished that event, which is why Ford don't really publicise it too much. And we've owned it for 11 years now, and it's taken us that long to pretty much restore it back to exactly how it was.
Do you know what I find really interesting about rallying in Australia is that the Ford and Holden rivalry and is it supercars is really well known. In terms of rallying, the Fords weren't particularly popular out here, were they? It's more the Japanese cars. Why is that?
I think the Datsuns were more readily available and were on the pace as really rough event type of car.
Right.
The Fords were seen as a little bit more fragile, and this style of car was a lot more expensive than the Datsun 1600, which were very, very popular in Australia.
Let's have a wee look at this because it is special. So, this car's what, 50 plus years old now?
50 years old this year.
And you've completely rebuilt it, but it's as genuine as it can be?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, every detail. There's quite a lot of photos from the day, and most of the parts on this car are all the original parts that were on it. And then there's some other bits and pieces which were missing, which we've reproduced and made look as original as possible.
And these cars are probably, in terms of value, in terms of the desirability, if you like, if we can say that, they're more popular than they've ever been. Everyone wants a Mark 1, a Mark II Escort, certainly in Europe these days.
Yeah, I think it's people of our generation. We grew up and they were our dream cars when we were kids. So, you run a business and you start making a little bit of money and you can afford more the time to put in and a bit of money to scrape it together over a long period of time. And you end up with, the thing you dreamed about when you were a kid.
So you're driving this today?
Not actually going to drive it today. It's obviously been driven down at the Alpine. I've raced the last 3 weekends in a row, a different form of motorsport, and I'm actually just having a weekend off. So bring it out, put it on display, and watch everyone else thrash around.
I'll tell you what, we're enormously grateful to you for bringing it out and for keeping it and restoring it. And it's there for another 50 years. It's 100th anniversary in 50 years' time. It'll be looking as good as this, I'm sure.
I hope so, and
me and you will be here to see that as well.
Well,
obviously.
Technology, I'll be 105, so I'm hoping that I'll be around. You never know.
Great stuff. Thank you for bringing it.